Scientific classification. Biological classification is the way scientists use to categorize and organize all of life. It can help to distinguish how similar different living organisms are to each other. An example of classification. Biological classification works a bit like the library does. Inside the library, books are divided up into certain areas. The kids' books in one section, the adult books in another, and the 10 books in another section. Within each of those sections, there will be more divisions like fiction, non-fiction. Within those sections, there will be even more divisions such as mystery, science fiction, and romance novels in the fiction section. Finally, you will get down to single book. Biological classification works the same way. At top, there are the kingdom. This is sort of like the adult section versus the kids section. The kingdom divide up life into big groups like plants and animals. Under the kingdoms are more division, which would be like fiction, non-fiction, mystery, etc. Finally, you get to the species, which is a sort of like getting to the book in the library. 7 major levels of classification. There are 7 major levels of classification: kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. The two main kingdoms we think about are plants and animals. Scientists also list 4 other kingdoms including bacteria, archaebacteria, fungi, and protozoa. Sometimes an 8th level above the kingdom called the domain is used. Classification for humans. Here is an example of how humans are classified. You will see that our species is Homo sapiens, kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata, class Mammalia, order Primates, family Hominid, genus Homo, species Homo sapiens. Fun ways to remember biological classification. A good way to remember list is to make up a sentence using the first letter in a list. In this case, we want to remember kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. KPCOFGS. How are some sentences? Kids reference cheers over fried green spinach. Koalas refer chocolate or fruit generally speaking. King Philip came over for good spaghetti. Keeping precious creatures organized for crumby scientists. Increasing facts about biological classification. Although the system of classification continues to be modified, Carlos Linnaeus, a Swedish plant scientist, is generally credited with inventing the current system. Animals with exoskeletons like insects and crabs are part of the phylum Arthropoda and often called arthropods. Under the phylum Chordata, we get the classes of animals many are familiar with, such as mammals, amphibians, reptiles, fish, and birds. A species is actually defined as an individual that can reproduce. Most endangered. For some species, time on planet Earth is running out. Human beings are the greatest threat to the survival of endangered species, with poaching, habitat destruction, and the effects of climate change causing a lot of the problems. Read on to learn about some of the beautiful creatures most indeed for the future. Extinct animals. Animals' extinction may be caused by natural occurrences such as climatic heating or cooling or changes in sea levels. In more modern times, however, human activity has been to blame. Habitat destruction as farming land expands and forests are cut down in the main cause of modern extinction, along with pollution and introduction of alien species and overfishing or hunting incredibly. However, climate exchange is thought to be dividing extinctions. Strongest animals. Many animals possess strength that even the strongest humans could only dream about. Different animals have different kinds of strength. Some have pure blood strength and are capable of lifting, dragging, carrying, or pulling enormous weights. Some are small but much stronger than we will be if we were same size. Longest living animals. Most animals have a lifespan for less than that of humans, but there are a number of creatures who live that long. They make the oldest living thing humans seem like a spring chicken in comparison. Have a look at 10 of the longest living animals and see how outlives them all. Fastest animals. Some animals are perfectly designed to be the ultimate speed machines. Some of these fly through the air, others swim through water, and some run on land. Most of the fastest animals are birds, so our list includes a selection of the fastest of all these different types of animals. Biggest animals. Animals take many shapes and forms and come in a great diversity of sizes. Some may think the biggest animal is the heaviest, others the longest or the tallest. Whichever may you measure size, there is no denying that some animals are absolutely huge. Smallest animals. Check out the selection of the smallest vertebrate animals on Earth. Some people think the smallest animals are the shortest in height or length, or the lightest. Whichever way you measure them, these really are some amazing little animals. Most poisonous animals. Many animals naturally produce venoms, toxins, and poisons to defend themselves and incapacitate their prey. From snails to snakes, poisonous creatures come in all different shapes, sizes, and colors. Smelliest animals. Here we have listed 10 of the smelliest creatures known to man, but maybe we shouldn't be too quick to screw our noses up. After all, how would we humans smell without access to soap and water? Highest jumping animals. Whilst we may marvel at the long or high jumping abilities of our topic Olympic athletes, their prowess is overshadowed by some of the animal kingdom's really big jumpers. Animals endangered by climate change. Our planet is getting warmer and wildlife is already feeling the heat. Unless we put an end to our dependence on fossil fuels, global temperatures will continue to rise with severe consequences for humans and animals. Here is a list of 10 species that may become extinct due to climate change. Animals with unusual sleeping habits. Everyone loves a good nap, but finding the time and place can be difficult for wild animals. Whether it is staying away from predators, keeping warm, or remembering to breathe, there is a lot to consider when it comes to sleep, and animals have come up with many weird and wonderful solutions. Animals with the most unusual mating tactics. For males in the animal kingdom, attracting a female is not always easy. Animals have developed many weird and wonderful mating rituals, but not all are romantic. Hibernating animals. When you are wild, animals surviving harsh winter weather and food shortages can be a challenge. Animals have adapted in many ways, one of which is hibernation. Though often thought to be a long sleep, hibernation is in fact very different, with animals lowering their metabolic rate, temperature, heart rate, and breathing to reduce their need to food. Sun-loving animal. The sun is important for all life on Earth, but while many animals choose to hide in their shade, others like to be out in their open, basking in the warmth. As we are in the heart of summer, let's appreciate some of the kingdom animals' biggest sun lovers. Lazy animals. In our busy world, it's always nice to have a day on the sofa relaxing. But for many animals, every day is a lazy day. We spend some spending only a few hours awake. These are the list of top 10 lazy animals. In our busy world, top number 1. Pygmy blue tongue lizard. The pygmy blue tongue lizard is incredibly elusive and was at one point thought to be extinct, native to Australia. They live in spider burrows and feed on passing insects. They don't actively catch their prey, though, preferring instead to lay in the burrow with their head pointing up toward the entrance, waiting for someone to fall in. They don't even live to drink, relying instead on raindrops and dew that form around the bird opening. As lazy as their lifestyles may sound, though, it's mostly a form of predator avoidance. Number 9. Coco. Nothing says lazy like laying your eggs in the nest of other wasps so you don't have to look after them, and that is precisely what cuckoos do. Rather than taking on the demands of parenthood, they leave their eggs in the nests of these other species, such as robins and warblers, leaving them to raise their demanding cliques as their own, a tactic known as broad paradism. Number 8. Nurse shark. Given that many shark species need to keep swimming to breathe, you wouldn't think them lazy. But the nurse shark is a different matter. They don't migrate like many species and spend most of their time lying motionless on the seabed. An activity made possible by the fact they can actively pump water over their gills, not needing to eat much to sustain their lifestyle. They spend much of the day sleeping and hunt at night for fish, mollusks, and crustaceans. They are not known for their hunting skills, though by feed by sucking up their prey. Number 7. Giant Panda. Giant pandas are well known for their bumbling and sluggish nature. They sleep for around 10 hours a day for roughly 3 hours at a time and will nap pretty much anywhere. When awake, they spend most of their time eating their food of choice. Bamboo is low in nutrients, so they need to consume around 54 lb, around 20 kg a day to get what they need. With all that sleeping and eating, it's no wonder they do little else. Number 6. Echinida. Also known as a spiny anterior echidnas are very slow moving and sleep for roughly 12 hours a day. They have a low body temperature for a mammal and cannot pant or sweat, which means they struggle with warmer temperatures. They are usually more active at night and probably sleep the day away to avoid dealing with the hot Australian sun. Number 5. Python. Pythons are slow moving animals that tend to be fairly inactive. They sleep for up to 18 hours a day normally and tire quickly. When digesting food, which happens once a week, when they feed, they sleep more. And before shedding, which is very energy demanding, they may sleep for a week to prepare. Number 4. Hippopotamus. Hippos have truly mastered the art of lazing around and sleep for 16 to 20 hours each day. When on land, they will often see them basking in the sun and napping together in larger groups, but they don't just sleep on land. They take their naps to the water and even manage to rise to the surface to breathe while still snoozing. Hippos are herbivores and do most of their foraging at night. They can spend an impressive 5 hours at a time just grazing on grass. Number 3. Opossum. Opossums are champion sleepers, getting an impressive 18 to 20 hours for sleep day. They are incredibly slow moving and once they find a place that provides the food and shelter they need, they stay only opting to move it obviously necessity. Number 2. Sloth. When one think of the word lazy, sloths are often one of the first animals to come to mind. And it's not surprising they sleep up to 20 hours a day. And are known for being extremely slow moving. They live in the tropical rainforest of South America and spend most of their time hanging from tree branches, moving only when necessary. It can take them several hours to do anything, after which they usually rest some more. Number 1. Koala. Koalas are known for their laziness and sleeping abilities, spending only 2 to 6 hours a week every day. Their diet is to blame for their sleepiness, though. Eucalyptus living contains toxins are very high in fiber and thus take a lot of energy to digest. I am one of the smallest animals in the world. Select below to find out which animals are the fastest to digest and